Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of D-Ray's Garage, where today we're going to try and fix the gas struts, or door checks as they're known, for these raising lifting doors on the 2007 Aston Martin Vantage. It is a nice feature when it works. I'm going to measure the before and after in terms of at what point the door starts to cave. Alright, so this may not be the most scientific thing in the world, but let's see if we can roughly capture where the door begins to fail. So I'm going to go from this seam on the metalwork, obviously using the weather stripping, to this part of the door, which right now reads 34, just under 34 and a half. That's basically fully open. So let's see how far we get before it fails. It's 31, 29, 26, 3/4, 24 and a half. Feels like it's about to fail here. So that was 22 and a half inches. At 22 and a half inches in that particular point of opening, that's where that one failed. Let's go check driver's side. Now it is my belief that this side is a little stronger. The strut is a little stronger, so let's see if we do better. Again, back to that metal seam on the car, showing again just under 35 inches at full extension here. Yep, okay. So let's start bringing it down. 31, 28, 24, feels like it's about to give. 21 and a half, it's just holding up, so a little stronger so far. 20, oh, we're gone. All right. That's our start point, 21 to 22 and a half inches. So if yours are failing there, and I do better in the post shots, might be time to change your struts. But I'm trying to get a gauge of what even a normal expectation should be. So let's see what that looks like. All right, your supplies for this are over here, the usual wheel removal stuff, because we have to take off the front wheels, and the fenders, the fender guards, wheel guards. That's going to require some T30 and Phillips head. There's one big unit in the fender well that goes all the way over and across again. So you have to get all of that out. Now, depending how you lift your car, since I use a quick jack, I'm going to have to take that off first. So just be mindful that when you're taking that out, you have to take off a whole unit, and it could get in the way of your lifting device, whatever that may be. So be mindful of that. I'm going to use probably this guy to prop off these ball sockets. This is the new gas strut here, and they've got little ball sockets on them and little metal holders, retaining clips that we'll need to set back before we put these new ones on. These are Aston Martin OEM. I'm not sure they'd be required, but I also wouldn't know how to find the non-branded equivalent. So these were from redpants.lol, who most people in this Vantage community are very familiar with already. I use the measure for obvious reasons, as you saw, torque wrench. Always a good idea to torque your wheels back on after they've been off. As you can see, we lose a few rocks, but now this is loose, and I need to get to here to jack the car. This won't apply to everyone, but anyone using quick jack, I don't know how well you can see this, but there's the block set up right here by the jack stand, and then here's the fender liner right here. So I'm just going to raise it enough, in fact it might already be out of the way, to where this doesn't get trapped under here. And if we accomplish that, that's probably the engineering feat of the day. All right, so this is the part where most of the heavy lifting is going to take place. There are Phillips screws in what I at least now think are 4 locations inside of here. Inside here on the front bumper, and then here where it connects to the fender. Then we have all the T30s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Roughly 8 there, and then there's going to be some underneath that I haven't counted yet, so we'll get to those in a minute. So next step is just getting all those out as best we can. On the underside here, there are 1, 2, 3 T30s holding this down. So we'll get those out. That one didn't seem to be tied into anything, so we'll see what happened with that later on. And then 2 Phillips right here on the corner, and that should, in theory, release the fender well. All right. Graceful like a ballerina as ever. I have to stick this insulation back on. Come on. So this is where, if you've watched any other videos on this, you kind of lose sight, and I can see why. I've got you in the wheel well, so hopefully we're getting a good shot. Now it's just a matter of staying out of the way myself. But this is the front end connector. And then as I feel back down here, and I'm going to get the GoPro in, I can put my finger right here. So it's only maybe an inch past this opening to the other one. And that's going to be the fun one to get out of here. So remember, we're going to take a small screwdriver to take off the retaining clip. And then we're going to try and pry these out. There is a good chance I won't be able to show you this while I'm actually taking it off. But what I didn't expect is that the ball joints are actually pointing downwards and the connectors are shooting up in there. And that's true also back here. Hopefully there's enough light that you can make out. This is with the door partially open. Let's see what we can do with the front one and see how much of a fight it puts up. Okay. Coming. Bye-bye. Whoa. So you saw I took the pressure off the door there because I forgot to have my helper hold it for me. So yeah, I put a towel there, thankfully, so it didn't slam shut. So now, you can leave it there, babe. Let's see if we can get this one at the back pried off, because it seems like, although it's bending this guy, we're getting into the right spot. This might be where people prefer the back one first, because you can get leverage, but it looks like I should be able to get enough there. It seems like it's coming off. Oh. All right. Much ado about nothing. I think I had a much tougher fight with the fender well. All right, so hopefully if there's enough light, you can see that rear ball joint just sitting behind that opening there. That'll move with the door. So if there's a better spot for you to have it, that's fine. And then the front one is right here. Much easier to see. I'm gonna stick this back on here. This is the front. So the main body of the strut. Sorry, it's out of focus. The main body of the strut comes at the front, and then this guy points down the back here. So that's how it's gonna sit in there. I just need to free up this retaining clip so it is not blocking this entrance. So let's see if I can get it to focus. So you can see how those clips just encroach there on the opening. I need that to be cleared while I get it on the ball joint, and then I'll push it in shortly after. Try and get that off, and it's gonna be hard to do this on camera probably, but I'm just gonna back it off with a screwdriver. It's hard to get it to do it evenly. It seems to pull out one side, but let's try again. I realize this probably isn't super focused. Come on. All right, you know what? Most of that is clear. Sorry it doesn't focus for you. Most of that is cleared, so I'm gonna try and pop it on there. It's on there. So now I just need to get that retaining clip to sit in. Which has gone in there. So let's do this front one. Actually just gonna leave that there. All right, can you go open the door for me? Mm-hmm. More, all the way. Good job, perfect, okay. So now I just need enough pressure on here to get this to sit on with the door wide open with the helper here. Sorry, I'm probably gonna have to block you. Okay. All right. Hopefully you can see that's on. Okay. Just close the door for me, baby. Just closely. Just slowly. Sorry. Just
closely.
All right. Let go for it. Is it still holding? It's just kind of leaking now, isn't it? Okay. Let's go measure. So as you can see here, at full tilt now, we're actually over 35. It's like 35 and a half. So let's come in and see where it fails. I can already tell you it's much tighter. 27. Just come off the paint a little bit. 23. 20 and a half. 17 and a half. 15 to here again, remember? Okay. Looks like somewhere in the 15, 14 is where it takes over and closes. So we gave ourselves 7 extra inches of not leg chopping door closing. So definitely made a difference, and there was definitely a reason to change out that particular strut. I'm gonna go do the other side. You don't need to see that.
Wait, I'm doing
In essence, that's the short and tall of it. So I'm gonna put Humpty Dumpty back together again, and if I encounter any, this isn't just the opposite of what I did to get it in there stuff, I'll certainly let you know. But the way it looks to me is the actual gas struts themselves are not awful. You just need that helper to move the interior ball, stock it in the right spot for you, and then yeah, just get lucky on knocking it in there. But this pry tool was definitely, it's worse for wear now, but this definitely helped get just behind the stalk and pop that ball off. Made that part relatively easy. So, quick question for you before I let you go. On that driver's side over there, that coolant tank, or the tank here on this side is the windshield fluid it looks like, on the other side it looks like coolant. But it's very, very low, and I'm wondering if it's just an overflow tank. So if any of you know that, please let me know in the comments below. For the rest of you, I hope this was an education. I hope it inspired you to spend $60 or some similar equivalent to improve by several inches the lack of ability to take out an ankle when you're getting in your Vantage V8. All right, thanks everyone for checking in. Be memorable, be well, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye now.